of the value of A. Okay, now we discuss some of the problems. Let we have our variable x, which is normally distributed with the mean 10 and standard deviation 2.1. So quickly we have a bell-shaped diagram in which mean is in the center. Mean is 10. So mean is in the center. Okay. This is the very first thing to do when x is normally distributed. We need to calculate the probability for x greater or equal to 11. So for part 1, actually we need definitely 11 is in the right half, as we have a value 10 in the middle, so 11 will be on the right hand side, and we need the probability for x greater or equal to 11, so this shaded part is required. This gray shaded area is required in part 1. Okay, convert this 11 in terms of z. So this is the corresponding point, 0.48. Use this point in the table and find the corresponding area. This area will be from center to this point. This area is the tabulated area, which is 0.1844. 0.1844. But we need this one, so subtract tabulated area from 0.5. We will get our answer, that is our required probability. Similarly, in second part, we have 2 points. So convert these 2 points in terms of z, as 1 point is in the left half, so when we convert it in terms of z, it will be negative. And the other point, 12.2, is on the right hand side of the mean value. So when we convert it in terms of z, this will be positive. So actually we need this probability in terms of x. In terms of z, we have this required probability. So again, these points will provide area from center to this point. So for this endpoint, we are getting the tabulated area from 0 to this point, and for the other point, we have the area from center to this point. As we need this shaded part, so just add both the tabulated areas. So sometimes we subtract the tabulated area from 0.5. In this case, we subtract smaller area from the larger one. In this case, we add both the tabulated areas. In this case, we get this area from the table. This is our tabulated area, this one. How can we get the whole shaded part? By adding 0.5 to this tabulated area. This is 0.5. So add 0.5 to this tabulated area. We will get the whole green shade. So sometimes we subtract tabulated area from 0.5, sometimes we add tabulated area from 0.5, some we subtract the 2 tabulated areas, and sometimes we add the 2 tabulated areas. It depends upon the situation. So that's why it would be better if you draw the diagram in the starting. So now the question is how to use the table. We have converted points 0.48, 0.48. Other one is minus 1.14. So we will just consider 1.14, not minus 1.14. So and the third point is 1.05, for which we have calculated the tabulated areas. Now how to calculate these areas? Look at the table. Look at the table. Our first column and first row showing the points, and rest of all the figures are showing area. These are the areas. These are the areas, except first column and first row. How to calculate these areas corresponding to certain points? We have our point 0.48. This was our first point. So up to first decimal 0.4 trace out in first column, and second decimal, which is 0.08. This will be traced out in first row. If we separate this decimal, this will be 0.4 plus 0.08. 0.4 will be in first column and 0.08 will be in first row. Now look at these points. Here we have 0.4 in first column and 0.08 here we have in first row. Join them. We have this corresponding area. This will be the tabulated area for the point z equal to 0.48. The other point is 1.14. So if I split this point, this will be 1.1 plus 0.04 up to first decimal and separate the second decimal place. So we will trace out 1.1 in first column and 0.04 in first row. So against 0.04, look at the value 1.1. Here we have 1.1. So against 1.1 below 0.04, this will be our tabulated area for this point. Our third point is 1.05. So 1.0 we will look at in first column and below 0.05, this will be the area corresponding to the point z equal to 1.05. We have calculated these areas in our problem, and further calculation according to the requirement. Here we add both the tabulated areas. Here we subtract tabulated area from 0.5. So look at in this problem, lifetime of an automatic dishwasher is normally distributed with the mean 3.5 year and standard deviation 1 year. If the dishwasher is guaranteed of 12 months, what is the fraction? What fraction of the sale will require replacement? only those dishwashers will be replaced if they are under the warranty period. Is this correct? All the electric devices, their claim will be accepted if their lifetime is within the warranty period. First of all, as the lifetime is normally distributed, so quickly draw the diagram and show the mean value in the center. That is your first step. Secondly, convert all the values with same units. Here, mean is in years, standard deviation is in years. So convert this value also in years. So this value. Okay. The claim will be accepted, and the fraction or the probability of the automatic dishwashers which need a replacement, actually the probability for less than this warranty period, the proportion is less than this point. So actually we need just a minute. So actually we have this situation. Let me explain. I'm drawing the diagram. The mean value is 3.5. Okay.
सर
जी
0.5 में से माइनस 0.48 नहीं होगा सर ऊपर?
किस प्रॉब्लम में, डिशवॉशर वाले में या पहले जो किया?
सर इससे जो पहले किया है उसका ए पार्ट।
अच्छा ए पार्ट में देख लेते हैं जी, यहाँ बताएं।
0.5 से माइनस 0.48 नहीं होगा?
नहीं, पॉइंट नहीं माइनस करना, आपने फाइंड आउट करना है एरिया। एरिया पूरे हाफ का है 0.5, ये पूरे हाफ का एरिया 0.5, ये है 18.1844, ये है टेबुलेटेड एरिया। कहाँ पर है ये वाला टेबुलेटेड एरिया है। तो पूरे हाफ में से ये टेबुलेटेड एरिया निकाल देंगे तो ये एरिया ग्रे शेडेड आ जाएगा। ये मिस्टेक स्टूडेंट से हो जाती है कि वो पॉइंट को एरिया कंसीडर कर लेते हैं। अच्छा एरिया नाम लिखा है AREA और आगे वो पॉइंट लिख देते हैं, या अगर Z1 लिखकर आगे एरिया वो लिख देते हैं 0.1844। ये थोड़ा सा फर्क आप क्लियरली लिखें, अदरवाइज तो वो सारा मिक्सअप है कि आप कैलकुलेट एरिया कर रहे हैं लेकिन शो उसको एज अ पॉइंट कर रहे हैं, या अगर पॉइंट शो कर रहे हैं तो लेकिन उसको एरिया बता रहे हैं। तो ये फर्क होना चाहिए। आप पहले अपना टारगेट देखें। ये डायग्राम है पहले जो वेरी इनिशियल स्टेटमेंट गिविंग अस this information that the diagram is normal and symmetrical. So highlight the mean value. Mean value is in the center. Now the point of decision is 11. Where is 11? Definitely this is on the right hand side of the mean value. So what is the procedure? We convert these points in terms of z. So here we have 0 and here we have 0.48. These are the points, not areas. Okay, now we find the corresponding area. This area will be from center to this point. This is the capacity of the table, because the table always provide area from center to this point, and this is equal to 0.1844, but we need this one. That's why subtract this tabulated area from 0.5. So this was the reason. Okay, हम बात ये कर रहे थे. So when our information, our lifetime is normally distributed, so quickly draw the diagram and show the mean value. Here we have this mean value. Here we have the mean value, 3. Where is the point of decision? 12 months means 1 year. If the device is under the warranty period, the claim will be accepted. So we need this area below this decision point. If we need to find a fraction whose claims are not accepted, we need the probability for x greater than 1. This area is needed. So this is the explanation of the problem. We have explained our problem in a good manner. Okay, what to do next? We need this shaded area. So convert these points in terms of z. We have this point equal to minus 2.5, and this point becomes 0. So corresponding to 2.5, we can get the area 2.50. 2.5 means 2.50 against 2.5 below 0.00. This is the area 0.4938. 0.4938. So come to your requirement. Here we have this problem. Here. Okay. This will be the situation. Our tabulated area, this area is 0.4938, but we need the gray shade. This means we will subtract the tabulated area from 0.5, from the complete half. This will be the answer. Similarly, x denotes the height of the soldiers that is normally distributed. So quickly draw the diagram and highlight the mean value. Okay, now what is required? How many soldiers in a regiment of 1000 would you expect to be over 6 feet? So in this diagram, actually, let's say we have this diagram. In this diagram, here we have the mean value 68.22. What is the equivalent figure of 6 feet with the same unit? 6 feet means 72 inches. So if here we have the mean value 68.22, so definitely here we have the value of 72 inches. 72 is here. So for the probability, for the proportion, more than 6 feet is the area under the curve, this one. This area is required. This area we need to calculate. So for this purpose, again convert the point in terms of z and find the corresponding area. This will be the corresponding area, but we need this one. So subtract tabulated area from 0.5. This proportion we will get. As you multiply this proportion with 1000, you will get the exact number of soldiers whose height is more than 6 feet. Now we have the reverse process. What we have done up to this example, we have calculated area for different points. Now if the area is given, we can find the corresponding points by the reverse process, by the use of the table. So let's see this question. Our variable is normally distributed with the mean 13.5 and variance. This one always the variance. As in the conversion from x to z, we have this formula. Remember, in this formula we are using sigma. As in these problems, we are given the variance. So first you must calculate the value of sigma from here, because this is sigma square, not sigma. Okay. With this information, draw the diagram. This is our diagram. This is the diagram. Okay. We need to find out the 2 points that a single observation has 95% chances to fall between them. So we need 2 points which are covering 95% of the data, which are covering 95% of the area. 95% means 0.95. This area is 0.95. Due to symmetry, half of 0.95 will be here in left half, and half of 0.95 will be in right half, which is 0.475. As we calculate in above example the area using these points, now with reverse process, using this area come to the corresponding point. The area is 0.475. 0.475. Look at the table. 0.475. All of these values are showing the areas. So trace out 0.475 or the nearest value, which is closer to 0.475. By chance we have the exact value of 0.475. Okay. Find the corresponding point. On the left hand side we have 1.9, and above this area we have 0.06. So add them. 1.9 plus 0.06, we get 1.96. 1.96. So we have area. look at the diagram. Let me discuss. Here. So this point is 1.96. 1.96. But due to being on the left hand side, this point is negative. This point is negative. Okay, the same area we have on the right half. So the corresponding point will be 1.96. This will be positive due to being on the right hand side. In terms of z, because table deals with a variable z. If we need to find out the area, we must have the point in terms of z. If we are finding a point using area, so this point will be in terms of z. Now convert this these both of these points in terms of x using the same formula. If g is equal to x minus mu over sigma, so definitely x is equal to mu plus sigma z. As z is known, sigma is known, mu is known, so easily we can find the corresponding point in terms of x. Is showing numeric values. So we must have mean and variance. We have also the quartile, decile, and percentile. This is also a data analysis. So in data analysis, we can also discuss the quartile, percentile, deciles, median, mode. Mode will be against the highest peak here. This will be the mode on x-axis. Okay. Our variable is normally distributed with mean 30 and standard deviation 10. We need to calculate 10th percentile, 90th percentile, 3rd quartile, 7th decile, or any other. We can calculate them, but we must know the meaning. We must know the meaning of percentile, quartile, and decile. Let me save. Okay, this is showing some problems. Okay. We have this situation. We need to calculate P10. 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 This is our point P10. Here we have P10. Because P10 is a point which covers 10% of the data below this point. Remember this thing. Covering 10% of the data below this point. 10% means 0.10. This is the area covered by 10th percentile. Below this point, this area is 10%, means 0.10. Okay, now we need to use the table, but table works only for this area. So as this area, shaded area is 0.10, so definitely this area is this one. This one is 0.4. Now use this point in table, find the corresponding point. This point is 1.28. Due to being on the left hand side, this will be in negative. Remember, this point is in terms of z. Now we can easily convert this point in terms of x using the formula. Similarly, if we need to calculate 90th percentile, 90th percentile means it covers 90% of the data below this point. 90% data, 90%. We have 90% data below this point. But for the use of the table, we need only this area so that we could use the table. As this complete area is 0.9 and this half is 0.5, so subtract 0.5 from 0.9, we get this area. This area is again 0.4. So using tracing out the area 0.4 exactly, we may have exactly 0.4. If it is not, then consider the nearest one, which is closer to 0.4. So find the corresponding point, which is again 1.28. This is positive as this is on the right hand side. So convert this point. This point is in terms of z. Remember, convert this point in terms of x. You will get our required answer. Similarly, we can find out the other measures like quartile decile. Our next okay. Next, we have normal approximation to binomial. Sometimes we have a situation in which the problem is actually related to binomial, but it is a little difficult to calculate the probability. For example, a dice is rolled 180 times. Similarly, if a coin is tossed 100 times, what is the probability to get number of heads from 40 to 70? Similarly, if a pair of dice is rolled 180 times, so then what is the probability that a total of 7 occurs at least 25 times between 33 to 41? So if I solve second part using binomial, this will be the answer. 180 33 p power 33 q power और 180 से 33 माइनस करें, because rest of the outcomes are the tails. 147. So q power 147, then plus the calculation for 34, 35, 36, 37 and so on, and last one will be for 180 41 p power 41 or 139. This will be the answer. This will be the answer, as we are considering larger powers of p and q. So definitely we have an error. So why shouldn't we approximate this problem with normal distribution? So for this purpose, for example, here in this example, a fair coin is tossed 20 times. What is the probability to get number of heads from 10 to 14? So if we solve this problem with the help of binomial, we will add the probability for x equal to 11, 10, 11, 12, 13 and 14. This will be the answer. But if we approximate this problem with normal distribution, first we calculate the mean value. This is our mean value, which is 10. Okay. Then calculate sigma. Sigma is 2.24. As we are using normal distribution, so draw the diagram. Draw the diagram. Normal diagram in which mean is in the center. Mean is in the center. So calculate the probability from 10 to 14. We have to think about their position, whether to add the tabulated areas or to subtract the tabulated areas, or we use 0.5 subtraction or 0.5 addition. First we convert, but remember one thing remember. Look at the statement. Here we have a word of inclusive. If we are finding the probability from 10 to 14, 10 and 14 are inclusive and points are included. When we approximate with the normal distribution, to include the extreme ends necessarily, we must expand our range on both the sides. Let me explain this thing with the diagram. Let me trace a diagram. Okay, have this diagram. Let's say here we have this situation. In our problem, we have the mean value 10, which is in the center. Here we have the mean value. Okay. Mean value in the center. Another point is 14. So definitely 14 is here on the right hand side of the mean value. So here we have the other point 14. As 10 and 14 are inclusive, so we must expand our range by so this must be the range, our new range, to include the extreme ends necessarily. These points are now 9.5, 9.5, and other point is 14.5. We expand our range a little with 0.5. 0.5 left hand point 9.5 and 14.5. So convert these points in terms of z. In terms of z, we get minus 0.22, minus 0.22, minus 0.22, and this point is 2.01. Z2.01. We have converted our x points. This information is we have converted our points in terms of z. Now calculate the area corresponding to these points. This area will be corresponding to this point. This area will be from center to this point, which is equal to this. This is the tabulated area corresponding to Z1. Now the area corresponding to Z2, this will be the area corresponding to Z2 from center to Z2. So add both the tabulated areas, you will get the answer. So in this way, we can approximate the situation. Similarly, we can also approximate our Poisson problems using normal distribution. Again, whatever is the situation, let's read this statement. A number of calls received by an office switchboard per hour follow a Poisson distribution. Okay, with the parameter 25. This means, as in Poisson distribution, mean and variance are the same. So mean mu is in this case 25, and variance is also 25. So convert variance in standard deviation by taking positive square root. Sigma value is 5 in this case. So quickly draw the diagram. Highlight the mean value 25 and mention these points 23 and 26. Expand this range and according to new range find the corresponding areas. And then finally the area from 23 to 26. It depends whether these points are one on each side, then we will add the tabulated areas. If both of these points are in the same side, in the same half, then we will subtract smaller area from the larger. It depends upon the situation. And next distribution is very simple. This is called uniform probability distribution. In this case, we will have a function, probability density function, which is a constant. A constant function we will have with a certain range, and this range is from 0 to 20. Okay, and we need the probability for x less than 10. Less than how much less than? As much we have our lower limit. Our lower limit is 0, so we will integrate our density function from 0 to 10. This will be the probability for less than 10. Less than 10 means, let me explain here. We need actually the probability for x less than 10. This means we will integrate our density function from 0 to 10. For this purpose, we will integrate our density function from 0 to 10. And this constant function is very much easy to integrate. But sometimes our density function is not in form. Let's say it is equal to k. Okay, so that we could have, as this function is a probability density function, so we are taking advantage that total probability is always equal to 1. Total probability is always equal to 1 means the total area under the curve with the complete range of x is equal to 1. So the whole range is from 1.9 to 2.1. So integrate the density function with the complete range. So we will integrate kx from 1.9 to 2.1. Solve this this definite integral and okay. Putting back what is required further, we have to calculate the thickness between 1.95 to 2.05. So just integrate your density function from 1.95 to 2.05. We will integrate in second part. In second part, we will integrate from 1.95 if we have a different range, what will happen? Let's say we need to integrate our density function for the range 1.92 1.952 2.75. Remember this thing, very important. As our range is just from 1.9 to 2.1, probability does not exist beyond the range of this x. So we will just integrate this function from 1.95 to a limit where the probability exists. Probability only exists till the limit of 2.1. So we will integrate this. In this case, we will integrate our function. Actually, let me explain this one in a proper way. We will integrate this function from 1.9. This is required. This is and we start from probability does not exist. Remember this thing. In all these problems, wherever we have जी मेरी आवाज आ रही है जी, जरा ब्रेक हो गया था नेट.
यस सर भी आ रही है.
Okay, that's all for today lecture. Our chapter is completed. I think I have sent in the group. And next we will discuss regression and correlation, our last chapter. And I will try to finish it in a single lecture. I'm trying to discuss all the topics and this will be our last topic according to our syllabus. I have completed the whole syllabus. although we have a lesser time, not complete 16 weeks. Even then, I have tried my best. At the same time, this course is being taught in our university in CRP department, also in mechatronics, metallurgy, geology, mining, also in PID. You can also compare the course contents taught by the teacher. I have tried my best. I have completed all the contents. Even if you find some problem, discuss with me. Students are frequently asking. You can also ask me. Okay, ji, inshallah, next time. Allah Hafiz.